Welcome to Half a Point, the podcast that saw Patrick Cripps poll 45 votes. Are you kidding me? A little bit of foul play at hand, I think. We'll get to that later. As I say every week, please show us some love. Subscribe, give this video a like as well. This is our grand final preview episode of Half a Point. We'll be breaking down everything grand final, everything Brownlow that happened. Yeah, so Cuss, welcome as every week. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Good to be here.
Cuss is in the middle of nowhere, so if we experience a few technical difficulties, that's on him. And of course, we have
Yeah.
another fresh face joining us this week, and that's Kusal Panditratne, another one of the members of the esteemed competition we refer to every week. He was the main challenger every week. Unfortunately, had an 0-2 week and is now officially eliminated from contention, but a really, really strong year. Kus, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me on, fellas. Been a good year.
All right, so we'll recap last week's games as we always do. So starting off in Sydney, Sydney were I think 18.5 point favorites against Port Adelaide, coming off that huge win against the Hawks. Sydney were too strong in the end. It wasn't really a great game. They ended up winning 95-59, easy cover. I was on Sydney. Pretty easy call there. Cuss, you went 0-2 again.
Not
A
looking
few.
good, mate.
Uh, let's just start. I think let's just put this year aside and focus on next season. But
Yeah, put it aside a
yeah,
few weeks ago.
yeah. What did you guys think of this game? I'll start with you, Cuss.
Yeah, look, no, you were right. I think you accidentally said it was going to be a blowout as well, and then your words back. But yeah, no, I think they were just all up and about in the first quarter, like Port Adelaide. But then didn't have much to answer for after that. So yeah, Swans just chipped away at them and won it pretty easily.
Yeah, Cuss.
Yeah, look, I went with Port just because I was trying to play the game and just trying to go think in the Dilshan mindset and just try and go the opposite of ya. But
Yeah.
obviously not the right call. Yeah, Sydney were just way too strong, and it was bit of a blowout by the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, exactly. A classic letdown spot for Port Adelaide there. Moving on to the second game, which is a beauty. I was actually on a plane during most of this, so I missed out most of it. But I went back and saw what's the All 22 and what's the film on it. Broke it down. But Geelong just came up short, 85, and Brisbane just edged them out by 10 points. Ending up on 95 points, so they win and cover as predicted here at half a point. So what did you think about this one, Kus?
Yeah, look, I'm the same as you. I was at a wedding, so literally just checked the score with like 5 minutes to go and chucked it on. And Joey Danaher, he's the man, hey.
He's the
So
man.
we'll see
Yeah.
how we go come the final. But yeah, wasn't expecting that. I actually thought Geelong at home would be pretty strong. Yeah.
Thus,
Yeah, I mean, it was a bloody good game, eh? Like literally just a game of momentum swings. I feel like Cats took control in the first half.
mhm.
Lions came back in the second half. A whole bunch of up and down in the last few minutes. We saw how close that got. Geelong had it in the bag, choked it. I wouldn't say choked it, but I think they just got outplayed, a little bit out of position in that, in the centre square. But yeah, you also saw what happens when Max Holmes got taken off. So that's pretty much when the game changed. They lost a lot of speed in the middle. But yeah, at the end of the day, Cats just got outcoached and outplayed.
Yeah, Holmes huge loss. Yeah, I think Geelong had a few missed scoring opportunities in the first half. Could have had a bigger lead dig into
Yeah.
the second half, but yeah, Brisbane sort of outlasted them. In the end, it was cracking grand final. So that's two kind of comeback wins in a row for Brisbane. So they're sort of building something there, but we'll see how they
Mm.
fare in the granny. So, looking at the records, I go 2-0, 73 and 55. So we say pros go 56%. I'm going at 57. So, I don't know. I'll leave it up to you guys to
Hmm.
to put the labels on. Cast, you go 0-2 again. Kind of a forgettable season. I say we throw it in the trash and focus on next season. Of course, even though you went
Yeah.
0-2, you're still 70 and 58, 55% against the spread this season. So pretty solid. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the competition and how you went?
Oh, it was a great comp. I enjoyed it. It was good
Yeah.
to do something different compared to the normal tipping. So thanks for organizing it.
Yep.
Yeah, room for improvement clearly as a whole, as a whole team, I guess. Be
Yeah.
nice to see us improve from here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good learning experience for everyone as well. So, the Brownlow medal. Let's touch on that for a few minutes here. We saw that clip of Andrew Dillon's wife pre-Brownlow when she was asked to give a prediction, and she said she wanted the want to win, but she was told that he's not in with a shot. So I don't know. I love a conspiracy theory. And I
Yeah.
think the AFL has to know who wins before, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're rigging it. It kind of doesn't make for great entertainment with one guy just sweeping the whole thing. But I don't know. What were your guys' thoughts on this? I'll start with you, Cuss.
It's definitely a weird thing to say, especially on like live TV. But yeah, I don't think it was that deep. I think it's just because everyone's been saying it's like out of Cripper and Dacos. Like, but you never know. You never know what's going on with the AFLA.
Yeah, I guess, Cuss.
Bit dodge, I reckon. I'm one of those conspiracy theorists. Yeah, look, I don't know. I don't know about that. Like, it seems like the umps only saw Dacos and Cripps all year. So yeah, look,
Yeah, there's always those games where like someone kicks like 2 goals and has 30 and they don't get votes, and then another game when one guy has 18 touches and gets three or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that happens every season, but yeah, I don't know about 45 votes, but I don't know. Fair enough. Well done, Cripper. Still no silverware, but maybe next season. Um, moving on now to the grand final, kind of a big match, eh? Best weekend in Australia, best vibes, best time to be in Melbourne. Wouldn't want to be leaving Melbourne anytime soon. So there's been a lot of chat about a Twilight Grand Final, 5:15 slots, like the last week's prelim, Geelong, Brisbane. I'm a huge fan of it. I think it's great. I know the tradition of the 2:30 is something we hold on to dearly, but I kind of liked the vibe. I think we can, have the barbecue during the day, and then once we're all settled down, we sit down, watch the game, sort of, and then when the second half's the lights are on, I don't know. I just love the vibes and atmosphere. What do you guys think? I'll start with you, Kuz.
You're a bit of a fan of day night cricket, ODI cricket, are you? That's what it sounds like. Yeah, look, I don't know. I don't really mind. I don't mind the 2:30 start. It's nice, where you can finish because it is wait, is it a 2:30 or 3 o'clock start?
It's a
Normally
2:30 start.
2:30 start. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like it's just nice, by the time it wraps up, you can have dinner and stuff like that and just kick on afterwards. Whereas this would be, smack bang in the middle of dinner by the time it finishes, I guess if it's a Twilight Grand Final. But yeah, look, open to it. I don't really mind either way, as long as it's still at the MCG where it should
Yeah,
be.
yeah. Cuss.
Yeah, I have no opinion on it either. I really don't care when it is, as long as it's not a Saturday. Like I like the 2:30 start as well. Like plenty of time leading up to it, plenty of time afterwards to celebrate. It's not really a loss there. But yeah, don't really care.
Cuss doesn't care when it is. He would watch a 2 a.m. grand final apparently.
Would
Um,
yeah.
it's on a Saturday. Yeah, okay, fair enough. And the other thing is the bye before the grand final. This just has to be changed. It's kind of ridiculous. I think one for the concussion thing. So if someone like has a concussion in the prelim, give them that extra week. Get rid of the bye before the finals start. We don't really need that. And also just builds up the drama. Have the parade like a week before everything, and then the teams have that extra week to sort of actually prepare for the game. It neutralizes any sort of rest edge, which I think if you get to the big dance, then there shouldn't really be a rest edge. It should be the two best teams that have an equal advantage, I guess. But yeah, I think they should really just make that change. There's no reason why it should be the way it is now. What do you think, Cuss?
Yeah, I agree. Put the bye before the grand final. There's no reason for it to be straight after the home and away season. Just doesn't make sense. Like, why are you getting a rest right before finals?
Yep,
Let's go head straight into finals, and then they can have a break right before the granny.
yep.
Yeah, look, I agree as well. Fair enough. I think it just how you have all these little stories about like like players and stuff from both teams and things like that. It just allows that to flesh out a bit more.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
like like Callum Mills and the Big O being out and things like
Yeah.
that, and you just get to
Yeah.
hear more of that, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that side of the granny and just looking forward to that. So yeah, it'd be nice to have an extra week.
Yeah, exactly. And there's not much drama compared to American sports where everything's sort
Mm.
of dramatized and reported. But yeah, you get more interviews out of the players, I guess, if there's a 2 week there, and then just more opportunity for things to build up. But we digress. Moving on to the actual game. Reckoning out the lines here, Sydney are 3.5 point favorites at the MCG versus Brisbane. So the last time they played was in round 19, where Brisbane were 3.5 point favorites at home, so at the Gabba. Brisbane ended up winning by 2 points, 79 to 77. So technically, Sydney ended up covering that game. But it was yeah, I think Brisbane opened at 1.5 in that game. So if you bought the Brisbane stock earlier on, you would have covered. I think this one I saw it at 4.5 for the early part of the week, 3.5 to 4.5, and then I think around yesterday it came down to 3.5, and I think just checked before, and it's at 2.5 now. So bit of money coming in on the Lions, but again, as I said last week, there's pros on both sides. Doesn't really matter. It's not really moving heaps, but just something to think of. Kuss, who are you going with?
Look, I reckon it's going to be a close game either way. And that's what I'm excited about. It's nice being a neutral fan for this game, I think, because two interstate teams should be awesome. But I think Sydney, man, I really think that Sydney are the goods this year. Just the way that they blasted Port Adelaide last week too. I think it's going to be a good day for a Sydney fan.
Fair enough. Do you have a score prediction?
Uh, I reckon it'll be high scoring. I think maybe in the vicinity of the 90s for both teams, perhaps. Let's just say, I don't know, 95 to 90.
Sure. Cuss, who are you going with?
Yeah, I'm on the same boat here. I reckon obviously going to be a close game. I think, less than 10 points it's going to be. But I think Sydney will take the chocolates here. I think if you're looking at it in terms of like a more consistent four-quarter performance, Sydney have got that in the bag. Whereas, Brisbane are more on like momentum swings, and sure, they might get the momentum like late in the fourth quarter, but I just think Sydney will be good enough to sort of, put that away. Yeah, so I'm going with Sydney, and yeah, I think it'll be around the 80s. They'll both score around the 80s.
Very, very interesting, guys. Give me Brisbane to win outright against Sydney. You got to take you guys laid it out perfectly. I mean, you said it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a close game. Give me the points. I love the points here. 3.5 points. I love the number 3.5. 2.5, obviously not as much. 4.5, I loved. But yeah, I completely agree with you guys. It's going to be a crack. It's going to be a really close game. So I'm going to take the points here. Um, yeah. So really interesting matchup. I think. Brisbane keep rolling. So obviously the scare is that coming off two emotional wins, you expect a letdown spot, kind of like Port had last week. But I just think, as I sort of alluded to last week, I think they're just on sort of a heater right now. They've been spending all this time together away from home, so I think they're just locked in. They played in Melbourne last week as well. Might count for something. They also played the grand final last year. They've gone through that process. They know sort of what to expect. They have what they went through last season, and they sort of show that they can play on grand final day. Yeah. What I also think is that the last time a team from fifth to eighth won was the Western Bulldogs, right? So that's
Mm.
2016. They also beat Sydney in the grand final, and
Yeah.
they also went on a little bit of a heater. So a little bit of omen there for Brisbane backers. But yeah, I think every time that happens, I think every time it's an interstate team in the grand final, it's usually a Victorian team that beats them. So in this case, we have two interstate teams. So obviously, that time Sydney were also favoured by 9.5 points against Western Bulldogs in 2016, but Western Bulldogs technically would have been a home dog then. So obviously, that would have been the spot to play them. This case, obviously, they're two interstate teams. So, but I'm still taking the points.
Yeah.
It's a lot closer. but yeah, I can't wait. But yeah, give me Brisbane, give me the points. I'm gonna if you say Sydney's gonna win, then like I can see that happening, obviously. But I'm just gonna say
Yeah,
Brisbane take the 3.5 with Brisbane. So the total is at 174.5. I'm also taking the under there. So I'm thinking it's gonna be like a 71-68 sort of. I'll say 71-68 Brisbane. I think it's gonna be really low scoring. Um, I just think it's not gonna be a free flowing sort of affair. I think even though that's how they usually play, I think all Sydney games their scores are always inflated because they play on the SCG, same as the Gabba, shorter, skinnier grounds. I think the game opens up a little bit more, but I think it's going to be an uncontested mark game in the first half. So look at the first half under as well, probably second half over, where the game sort of opens up a little bit more, kind of similar to Brisbane Geelong, how it opened up in the second half there. Cuss, you alluded to both teams being in the 80s. Are you going over or under 174.5?
yeah, I'd be under.
Yep.
I reckon they're both around the 160 mark. I reckon.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it'll be a low scoring game. Yeah. What about
Yep.
you, Kus?
I reckon I'm going to go overs. Like I said before, I reckon it'll be in the 90s.
Yeah,
Yep.
If
yeah,
Fair enough.
Joey Danaher gets on a roll.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Fair enough. We'll look at some prop bets later on. First half as well. Sydney 1.5 point favorites in the first half. So I'm actually going to go Sydney first half and Brisbane full game. What do you guys have any thoughts on the first half market there?
Yeah, look, I'd probably agree with that as well. I think it was Custom that said before, like they go in flows, Brisbane does. So yeah, you
Mm,
can see Sydney starting fast and then maybe Brisbane coming back like they did last week, I guess.
yep. Cuss.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I
Cool.
agree.
Cool. We're all aligned here. Fantastic. This is what we like to see in half a point, except Brisbane's going to win. Norm Smith predictions. So this one's always a fun one to sort of hand out. I'm just having to look at the market right now. Cass, do you want to give your prediction first?
Yeah, my prediction. I reckon. Look, I think Heaney is built for this final series. He's been playing so well. His previous like for this whole final series. I think he'll get up and about again, kick a couple goals, get about at least 25 touches. And yeah, I reckon he'll win the normie.
Of course.
Yeah, look, I'd love it to be Brody Grundy, to be honest, just because I feel like Bloke would deserve it. But I honestly reckon Nick Blakey might be an outside shot, man. Like if he
Ooh,
gets on a roll, just that like half back kind of dude that just breaks through. He might be
great
the guy.
shout.
And if
Uh,
Brisbane get up, like I was saying before, or if Brisbane get up, I reckon Joey Danaher's the guy, man, that's going to take him to the promised land.
Absolutely love it. Yeah, Cass, that's chalk. That's Isaac Heaney's paying only $6. Not going to get much value there. Well, my pick was
Mm.
also going to be Nick Blakey, man. So looks like we're aligned. I was going to go the Brisbane win, but the Sydney Norm Smith. Yeah, Nick Blakey's playing $21 at the moment. The other one I'd say is Dane Zorko. Books are smart. He's only at $16, but yeah, as I said, another the sort of the half-back player for Brisbane. You're just betting on upside here. So if you want to bet Cam Rayner as well at $18, you can bet on his upside. But I'd stay away from Heaney, Warner, Gordon. I'd definitely stay away from Neil. I don't know. McCluggage is at $13. I'm not sure why my money's coming on him, but um, people must like him. But yeah, I think matchup wise, Dunkley goes to Heaney for sure, and I love Dunkley on Heaney. I just think he mitigates his effect. He's just so physically so underrated. So I think
Hmm.
Heaney has obviously Heaney's a great player. I think he has a good game, but probably not Norm Smith level. Yeah, I think Brisbane just have too many dudes. But yeah, we'll see. All right, now finally we'll all give off our favorite bet of the grand final. Cuss, do you want to go first on this one?
My favorite bet, I reckon. Oh, look, I like the first goal kicker,
Yep,
and I'm going with Klus's man here. I'm going with Joey Danaher for the first goal.
love it. He's paying $11. Don't mind it at all. Cuss, you?
Look, I'll give you a serious one. Hold on, give me a sec. Let me just
Mm-hmm.
get the serious one up. My joke one though is on the grand final sprint. I
Mm-hmm.
do love a little prop bet on that.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I like what's his name? It's always the blokes that don't play like senior footy.
Yeah.
Um, Will Hamill there at $11.
Yeah.
If you want to make a donation, you can go Dion Pressey at 101. So that's there. You could lose a couple there as well.
Love it.
But I think I was going to say Calamachi for 2 plus. Let me just tell you how much that's paying. Give me a sec.
Yep.
Uh, 1 second. Sorry. I had it up just before. Sorry, lads.
What do you reckon the
He.
odds are on Fantasia doing a hammy during the sprint?
Oh, mate.
Pretty high.
$1
Yeah,
one, mate. Calamar cheese paying $3.25 for 2 plus.
there you go. Thank you.
Um, mine is you gotta go left field here. You gotta go high value. Give me 3+ goals to Logan Morris. Absolutely love it. Paying $10.
Oh,
Paying
the
ten
kid.
bucks. Not too bad actually. But yeah, give me the kid to reel off three. Kind of random. I just see him getting the worst defender. So yeah, I think I didn't rate Sydney's backline as much. So yeah, give me Logan Morris kick 3+ paying $10. All right. Love it. Great episode, guys. Uh, Obviously it's gonna be a cracking grand final. Me and Cuss will be back next week for the all the reaction from the granny and our way too early 2025 lean. Um, so yeah, thank you for joining, Kus. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah,
Thanks
thank
for
you for
having me
joining.
on, lads.
Yep, and Cuss, enjoy your holiday, and we'll see you all after Brisbane win the grand final in 2024.
All
All right,
right.
guys, as
See you
we say every
soon,
Let's
mate.
go,
week,
Katy Perry.
yep. Oh, yes, Katie appreciate it as well. Please like, please subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next week. See ya.